She grew up and lived and died about 10 minutes from Kings Island, an amusement park I visited in the summer when I was a closeted child, teased by my family for liking the wrong activities, not behaving like a boy should behave. She grew up 30 minutes from where I went to college, where in my first 3 months as a first-year student, 3 hate crimes and threats of violence targeting a local interracial couple, a Jewish professor, and a group of out queer students all occurred in quick succession. The university called these incidents of bias, but those involved knew them to be incidents of terrorism, where people were made to feel terrorized for existing in their own communities. A burning cross, an engraved swastika, and an email telling a dozen of my fellow queer students that their lives were worthless and that they should kill themselves. No one was found responsible for these incidents of racism, anti-Semitism, and queerphobia. In the absence of a perpetrator, the terror, shame, and sadness they evoked were attributed somehow, generally, to society. The society that Leelah so rightly determined was broken. This part of Southwest Ohio is the same place where Leelah grew up. It was a different time, and yet when I read it to death, I could only think of how little has changed. I did not know Leelah. We never met. I want to remind myself of that as we evoke her name. As much as she wanted us to use the tragedy of her death to bring about some greater awareness, to help move us closer to something like a more just world, I want to remind myself that Leelah is not just a figure, she is not just a trope, she is not just a name or an icon on which we can build a movement of justice, an occasion to remember our own experiences with violence and transphobia. She was a person, and we failed her. We never met her, but we failed her. We didn't offer her the world that she deserved, and we'll never know what she could have offered to us beyond the eloquent words she left behind, and that is all of our loss. I don't want to end on a hopeful note just because it is customary or because it will make us feel better. I think it is necessary for us to sit with the discomfort, with the sadness of this loss, as we move forward and think about our actions, all of our actions, and how they contribute to the amorphous society that Leelah asked us to fix. In our own lives, how do we contribute to the violent systems in which we find ourselves enmeshed, and what is our responsibility to begin to undo these systems? I want to thank Jacqueline and all of the student organizers for giving us the space to begin asking these questions in Leelah's memory. Thank you.